will be a new Olympic event in Paris. So it was the 1,000 metres, now moving to the 500 metres depth. What sort of changes will they have made over the last sort of Olympic cycle for paddlers to prepare themselves for this shorter distance?
They will have had to make a lot of changes, I assume. Yeah, it's speeding up for one thing, because the start is so much more important in the 500 than the 1,000. Of course, it can make a difference in the 1,000 if you're up there at the start, maybe mentally in some of your other competitors, but if you aren't there at the beginning of the 500, then the next race starts at 11:35.
No, I mean, we're only talking about 100 seconds perhaps for this event. There isn't a lot of room for error in the 500 metres, perhaps a little bit less than there is in the 1,000. I mean, we're still talking about similar crews across 500 and 1,000, both endurance events, so important that they have that endurance base, but I guess a little bit of adaptation to be made to racing.
And this headwind as well, having that 1,000-metre base that a lot of these athletes will have, will stand them in good stead.
Yeah, and headwind meaning that's just slowing the times down a little bit. What would you prefer, Debs, when you are racing? Do you like that have a light tailwind speeds up the times, or are you better when the race goes on a little bit, you're pushing into a headwind?
Coming from the UK, I'll probably have to say headwind, just because that's what we're training 99% of the time. But I like tailwind, it's always very enjoyable. When it picks up too much and you've got a bit more of a wave towards the end of the race, it's not so enjoyable.
No, indeed, it seems to be always a headwind, no matter which way you're paddling in Nottingham, doesn't it? We just saw the graphic there for the introduction of the men's C-2 1,000 metres. So we'll go to lane 1, where we see the Romanians, Sliwinski and Oleg Guta. Then we've got the German paddlers in lane 2, Moritz Adam Nico Piker. In lane 3, Balas Adolf Jonathan Haidu. Big cheer for the Hungarians that have been on the podium so far in this session. On the top of the podium, Hungary, leading amongst the medals so far. Then we've got the individual neutral athletes, Alexei Korovashkov and Ivan Stil, already medalists in. Ivan Stil, in fact, was a bronze medalist in the Olympics back in London in 2012, so vast amount of experience. Gabriel Casaidi and Carlo Tacchini, also very experienced, particularly Carlo Tacchini. They are the current European champions. Wiktor Glazunow and Arsen Sliwinski, there they are in picture, go for Poland in lane 6. Czech Republic, the Fuchsa brothers, Peter and Martin. Now Martin's already got a collection of medals, just hasn't got the gold yet. He's got a silver from the C-1000 metres, he's got a bronze from the C-1 500 metres. Now he pairs up with his brother to see if they can go one better and take the gold. Talented French pair here, Loic Lenard and Adrien Barr. Adrien Barr a little bit disappointing. He will go to the Olympic Games, in fact both of these will, but Adrien Barr was 8th in the C-1000 metre final yesterday. Then we've got the Lithuanian crew of Enrikas Zustautas and Vadim Korobov in lane 9. Now, this is 500 metres, so I'm going to be perhaps a little bit over 1 minute 40, 100 seconds, again, depending a little bit on the wind. The wind does affect these canoe paddlers' high centre of gravity, tricky to balance, but if it's straight into their faces, it's not as bad. Final of the men's C-2 500 metres here at the European Championships is underway already. Looks like the Polish Glazunow and Sliwinski, there they are in picture there, the red and white, the distinctive red and white of Poland in lane 6. Got away to a good start. Important that they get the boats up to speed here, Debs, and then settle down into that rhythm.
Yeah, and that rhythm is a really, really niche thing to find. So difficult, especially when you're a crew boat as well. That synchronisation.
It's a dark art, isn't it, really? That sort of thing that's very hard to put into data. It's to do with the coach's eye, to do with the feel, isn't it? and I suppose that's the hours and hours in the boat. Although, as we said with Polish before, that it's quite often they're quite interchangeable. The paddle crew are so often different people. Right, so Polish going well at the moment. They got away to the best start, but it's actually the individual neutral crew that are first to the 250 point. You can see them there in the black boat, going really well at the moment. Korovashkov and Still, as I said, Still, both former Russian paddlers. Ivan Still, very good over the 200 metre distance, having been an Olympic medalist when it was in the Olympics back in London. Now, Poles are coming back at them again. The Italians are not far away, but the Poles in lane 6 are coming at the neutral crew, and also the Hungarians, just one place above the neutral crew. They're coming for a charge here. They want to be back in the medals. They like the gold. It's getting close. We've got Italy up there. We've got the neutral crew. We've got the Polish in the red and white. It's going to be on a lunge for the line. It's going to be on the timing for the line here. Will it be the neutral crew? It looks like it is. Followed by the Poles and maybe Hungarians as well. So we're going to have to wait for a bit of confirmation there. But to me, I don't know what you think, Debs, but no doubt about the winners. Used to compete for Russia, very experienced, and an excellent job from them, just did enough to take the goal. I thought it was Poland, then Hungary, but very close to the finish. Italians not far off there either.
Yeah, we want to call that from there. That again is really, really exciting race. This is really good race for the sport. It's a good watch.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? Because it's such close racing, really, really dramatic. It seems that the individual neutral crew kind of took that by the scruff of the neck from about the halfway point. They were first, as we said, to the 250 metre mark. Not necessarily the fastest off the start, but they were quick off the start, and then came through in the middle part of the race. And the others were coming back at them. There was a big roar from the crowd. The Polish were there early on, then they dropped away, then they came back. And the Hungarians, you can see in picture there, Balas Adolf and Jonathan Haidu. Well, they've been in European Championship finals before, and just outside the final of the Olympic Games, in fact, in Tokyo. And they're pretty sure they got themselves onto the podium. I thought they were in third, but they would have taken the silver. So we'll look at that lunge of the line. It's neutral crew. Then I think look like Poland, but very difficult between lanes 3 and 5. Which is the Italians and the Hungarians. Poland and then did Hungary. That is a brave official who's going to put Hungary down in 4th place.
Yeah. Could be another one of these photo finish dead heats.
It will indeed. But Jovana Stanjevic, who's in charge of the technical officials there, will be keeping a beady eye over it just to make sure they're going back through the data, the photo finish, to double check. They like to get the results out as soon as they possibly can, because they know we at home like to say they've done that. It is the neutral crew. It's Poland second, it is Italy third, and Hungary this time miss out on the medals. It's that close